right, so we got that. Now tonight, the other series in the East has been absolutely fascinating. This has felt like a heavyweight title fight from the very beginning. And the notable storylines, you got Giannis. He's averaging 32 points a game, but it hasn't been efficient. He's shooting 44% from the floor. That would be his lowest in a series since 2015. Maybe a lot of that has to do with the defense, and maybe some of it has to do with Khris Middleton's absence. It has been felt, especially down the stretch. The Bucks have been outscored by 28 points in the fourth quarters in this series. And Jason Tatum, he's been up and down, averaging 30 points per game on nearly 50% shooting in wins, just under 16 points and below 30% shooting in losses. And the game he really struggled was Game 3 on Saturday on the road, when they really could have taken a stranglehold, if you will, on this series if he had played even his C game. But he played even worse than that. And so one thing leads to another, and here we sit. So, Alan, you're the chronicler. How do we chronicle where this series is right now? Best of 3, Boston as the home court.
Yeah, this is, we talk legacy games, we get real dramatic about it, but I look at this also, Jason Tatum. This is again, we watch him. We've been talking about it, Monica, right, for a couple of weeks now, because Pelt's on the wall. You've got Kevin Durant already. Can you get Giannis? Well, here's one on the road, step up. Al Horford really seemed to inspire them and in that last game. And what happens, of course, is the young players like a Tatum feeds off that, has a huge fourth quarter. And now it's for you winning time. Now it's for you to see what happened with the Sixers, and don't let that happen. Make sure you're ready to go. And he's got to lead the way tonight.
Legs, X and O this for me here. As we sit here now, adjustments, we talked about how Monty Williams is still at Game 5 of a series. He's still making adjustments. Are there any changes you could see for either side?
I look at it like this. I'm still waiting for certain guys that haven't made the appearance the way they need to in this series. And that's why I think the Bucks have a great chance to win it. I know I'm in the minority on this. Drew Holiday has not played well offensively. I just can't imagine he's not going to have at some point a really efficient game where he gets you more than 20. Bobby Portis, I've said this about Bobby Portis for the last 2 years. 1 basket from Bobby Portis is equal to 4 from any other player on their roster. The way their team reacts to what he does, particularly when they are at home. Bobby Portis, the last 2 games, has not really helped them. He averaged 15 in the 5 games prior. These are 2 critical offensive threats without Middleton. So look, you look at what Horford's doing right now. Can he continue to play this well? Tatum's been really good except 1 game. Jaylen Brown's been solid. You look at the Bucks, I think there's more there. And look, bottom line is this. I'm putting my chips on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm betting on his greatness, and that's why I think the Milwaukee Bucks still can win this series.
Legs, my guy, why do we keep doing this?
What?
We will not give this Celtics defense their due. Like, to me, Drew Holiday, you're right, but Drew Holiday also is sort of contingent on the space that Khris Middleton occupies. And so I don't know that he's going to be able to unlock without him being there as a weapon to also thwart some of the defensive attention. But to me, we did the same thing versus the Nets. KD will figure it out. We trust Giannis. They'll make adjustments. Why are we continue to undersell the Celtics defense in my mind? Al Horford has held.
And that's why Drew Holiday has struggled.
Right, exactly. And Al Horford has held Giannis, when he's the primary defender, to 30% from the field. Like everybody else, he's something around 50. But I just think overall, this Celtics defense, to me, continues to prove itself.
I just think it's amazing. Listen, nobody's not going to give the Boston Celtics credit to defense. I know how good they are and how good they have been. No question about it. What I'm saying to you is there's a lot of talk right now as if this is a lopsided series. The Bucks had a 12-point lead in the late third, early fourth quarter of that game.
Yeah.
What would this conversation look like if they win that game? Right now, it's like, oh, Bucks have no shot because the Celtics defense is suffocating them. It's like, all right, look, Giannis Antetokounmpo is still going to do his thing. He got gassed the other night, and that is a large part to their defense. But again, I don't think that's a cumulative thing. He's gassed at the end of Game 4, so now he's going to be gassed earlier in Game 5. No, that was that game for whatever reason. He was bent over late in the game holding his shorts while they're running sets. It got to him. Grant Williams, Horford, Marcus Smart, they got to him. I still think if there's one guy that can play through it in this kind of moment, it's Giannis because of his mental and physical toughness.
So here's the thing for me. I agree with you. I think Giannis can play through it, but there's a really fine line between him playing through it and starting to press, which is almost what the Celtics would want him to do, where he becomes inefficient, right? When you look at his percentages in games they've won versus games that they've lost, it's such a fine line. And to your point, he does need to be able to rely on some of his role guys who haven't showed up. But I continue to say that's partly because of that Celtics D.
And I would just finish it by saying, to some degree, I think we have seen the lack of respect for Khris Middleton in this series, which is, I'm not suggesting any of the people at this table, but I'm not hearing nearly enough of that. If you took Jaylen Brown off the Celtics, this would be a very different series. You take a team's second best player out of what is otherwise basically a dead even series, it makes an enormous difference. They miss Khris Middleton because he is a legit NBA star, not a superstar, but a star. And I don't think you overcome that as easily as people seem to suggest they should be overcoming it.
When I watch games, I don't really root. I don't have a team I have rooting against for. But based on this conversation, I'm pulling so hard for the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. I have never been this about. Guinness. Get your Giannis jersey, buddy. It's in your little bag we packed. Go get your Giannis jersey, put it on, because I am pulling for the Bucks tonight. And I never root for this. That's my guy. Hey, bring the car around, by the way. I'm almost done. I got 30 minutes. I'll see you out front, buddy. See you out front.
It would not shock me if the Bucks win. I just think overall we continue to do this thing with the Celtics defense where we're not giving them
I just love the idea of the Guinness and Giannis.
I like this. Oh,
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.